like MTN, for Barclays, for Airtel. You know, we've worked with them over the last few years at the career fairs.
So
and
the brand is always
yes,
there.
and the students know about them, and they're always asking, what is Barclays offering now? What is MTN offering? You know, in last semester, for instance, MTN took about 50. Barclays took about 100, and I think Airtel took 10 or so. And it carries on. There are quite a number of other companies. If you can see, we had over 30 companies in our career fair. And so all these companies are looking to place students.
Nothing but the best.
Why not come to the premium university?
Place some kind of pressure on you to always give nothing but the best?
Well, it does place pressure, but we are happy to do that because we want Ghana to realize that we've got the best.
Sure.
So we also want to put our best foot forward. It helps with also our brand. And I'm very interested in the UG brand. So I want to make sure that we present the best so that when the story is being told, it's very positive. And it means companies are also more willing to come back the following year to ask for more. If you don't give them the best, then they lose faith. It means next year when you talking to them, they are not
But have
interested.
you ever gotten a negative feedback from the companies based on the student that they picked?
Usually the ones that we presented, like we said, we'll screen them. We take them through the interviewing, the mock interview, and then we do the selection. So usually we get positives for those. But students might have gone on their own, that we had nothing to do with them. So they might say, oh, they're University of Ghana students. But those are ones that probably haven't been prepared. They haven't got any clue about workplace ethics. So they might come and sit there and be on Facebook. They might come and sit there and be WhatsApping. But the ones that we've prepared, we let them know it's not allowed in the workplace to go and sit there and be on Facebook, for instance. So yes, you might get a few of those where they went directly. But the ones that we place, we make sure that we give you the best. So I don't think we've had much complaints, apart from probably the fact that some of them don't have the confidence that is expected in the workplace. But there again, I think that is more, it cuts across.
But I think even with that, you know, industry has a role to play in preparing the student, because we are preparing them for industry. So I think that one shouldn't even be a problem for you, because it is their responsibility to also make sure that they groom them when they come there to up them up to the level of maybe confidence that they want. And I would say that the courses are just usually giving them the technical skills. You as an employer will need to train them on your specifics, on your corporate culture. A person might have a degree in banking and finance, for instance. You might employ them, but your particular trading skills that are required will expect you to groom them what your requirements are. But if you let us know what your requirements are, what the trend is in your sector, in your industry out there, let us work on it so that we can prepare them for it. So in a way, this is kind of addressing the skill mismatch.
I won't call it mismatch, maybe a gap, a skills gap, because there's a gap sometimes where the transition is from academia into industry. Sometimes it might not be exactly smooth because of the requirements of the various industries. So if a student is being trained, usually they're being trained to contribute. A lot of programs that we run, our training program, our entrepreneurship program, we want an incubation center, for instance. So if that big center we have has an incubation center, students who are projects can come in and work on their
I think this is a very beautiful vision, and I know it's possible to
I hope someone will build one for us. That's my dream for the next 5 years.
And that is possible if we closely work together on this. I know it will be possible.
That would be great.
You have the entire continent. Tell whoever you want to build a center for you.
I think there's some very good companies out there, not just in Ghana, but out there that have the resources to help us out. And it will be good for them to, you know, work with us and help us build on that. I think that the university has a good brand, and so we can be trusted. We have the credibility. And if there are companies out there who are looking to give back to their community, to invest, and they are not sure where the investment can go, building that supports the students. So like a student hub where all our support services will be involved, including our entrepreneurship center. We're also looking for an enterprise fund. We've started promoting an enterprise fund, and so we want to develop an enterprise fund so that when students come with brilliant ideas such as these, they can draw on the fund and run the business. with that, I think that's the biggest way we can reduce graduate unemployment, because if they have the business, they're able to employ themselves and able to employ some of their mates or some of the other people with less skills. And gradually, a student who has never visited the center, our tagline at the center is your smart choice. Okay. And so what we're saying is, if you're going through the university for 4 years and not speaking to the Careers and Counseling Center, you are not being smart about your choices. The reason being that if you have everything figured out, it helps sometimes to speak to the professionals. So it confirms what you've decided. It will help you put the necessary structures in place for you to achieve those career objectives that you set for yourself. Do speak to us, and I'm sure you'll be glad you did.
So thank you so much, Mrs. Bachman, for opening your center to us. And we know that anytime we walk in, you would gladly receive us and share with us something. All right, so thank you, and we are so much appreciative. Earlier, we had a wonderful discussion with the director of the Career and Counseling Center of the University of Ghana, Ghana's premier university, where we were looking at the basic things that happens here at the center, what was the rationale for setting up the center, and what has been the benefit students and the entire university has derived from this center. And we had a very interesting discussions, and for us to offer services in the premier university, it is important that we have 1 or 2 people who would give us their first-hand information and their first-hand experience of the counseling and services center here at the Premier University. And I have 2 wonderful students who are going to share their experience when they first got to know of the center, how their experience has been, and what they have to tell the entire continent. So the first with me is Augustina. Augustina, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Are you in the final year, first year?
I'm in the final year.
What program are you reading?
Psychology.
Psychology. Is that why you love coming to the center?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So who introduced the center to you?
I found out on my own. I saw the flyer line to some of the companies. I got a call from them.
Which company specifically?
Star Life Assurance.
Okay, so you did your internship there?
No, I didn't accept the offer.
Why?
Because there were other interesting offers around.
Okay, so per your experience or you visiting the center, you got to have a lot of options, and then you made a choice of which one was the best for you. The perspective of how the center has been beneficial to her. What is your experience?
Mine has been very wonderful as a student of the University of Ghana. I'm currently in my level 400, my final year. And I've been with the center since level 200, volunteering and working with the center. And one of the things that the center has helped me with is formulating a career goal. And it's offered me opportunities to work at various companies as well. Because after school, you go to look for a job, and the first thing they ask you is, how many years of experience do you have? And I just finished school, so how am I going to get all of those experiences? So working with the center, I was able to work at all those companies, get those skills the companies look out for. And I've
So can you share with us what has been happening to them also?
Yes.
What would be their testimony should we get the opportunity to interview them?
Oh yes, they'll tell you the same thing. Opportunity for us.
In your institution, to be specific, what advice will you give them?
Okay, so I'll share a personal experience I have now. I'm in my final year, I have to do my service after school. And currently, I have so many options on my hand now. And I just have to choose. While others are going to struggle, not know where to go. And through the Careers and Counseling Center, I'm at that state now. And so there's so many benefits, my friends, you can derive from actually coming to the Careers and Counseling Center. Not just internship letters you come for to look for companies and all of that, but the network you can have with the people at the Careers and Counseling Center, with industry, the programs they organize to help us develop ourselves, get interview skills, negotiation skills, and all of that are necessary in the working field. And you can't get all of that in the lecture theaters we are in. And so we have to make sure we use the Careers and Counseling Center very well to our benefit while we are here.
Mr. Rafi, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so you share with us what has been the transformational process ever since you were brought into the center as a staff.
Yeah, I've worked there for quite some time now. I've worked with about 3 or 4 directors. For some time now, the center used to emphasize a lot on counseling because, I mean, initially it was set up as a careers advisory center, but somehow or other they brought a counseling, but after some time it looked like the counseling seemed to have overshadowed the career services. That was a good aspect in bringing Mrs. Bachman in. I mean, because she came to strengthen the careers aspect of the Careers and Counseling Center. And I think the mandate of the university is to bring out employable students. And that one, I think she's doing very well at it.
Okay. So how has students benefited from the services of the center?
Well,
past 5 years?
Well, they have benefited a lot. I mean, if you look at the transformation in their careers, in the career development program, the leadership academy, and the counseling aspect, I think students have benefited. I also realize that the publicity of the center has gone quite high, and students patronize more, not only for counseling or for careers. Something they come because they want us to look at their CVs and their application letters.
To you, what is the perception? Why are students feeling reluctant to seek for services here?
Well, it depends on the type of services they are looking out for. If they are looking for attachment letters, they are not reluctant to come.
You're coming in numbers.
When they are looking for, I mean, counseling has got a sense of stigmatization. So many people do not want to come. But that's why that's why the center was put here. I mean, it's a little bit away from yes, so that people could sneak in and take advantage of the services.
So, what would be your final words to students who may not have ever visited the center?
Well, I think there's a great loss if they don't visit the center. Everybody who has visited the center and has used the service of the center has commended the center for what it's doing. So if, most students say they don't know about the center, but I don't think that's the truth. At least they come for attachment letters, so they know what the center does, and we encourage all students to come and use the services of the center.
If you join us, thank you so much, and then we know that we'll meet you again where we'll bring you other important segment of this university.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AAU-TV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture.